If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. Welcome back to another mini money manifesting boost episode. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I'm going to take you through my mind-blowing money experiment that paid off. Now, I am not a natural risk taker. In fact, I'm not naturally wired in an optimal way to be a successful entrepreneur because everything I do is rooted in safety, in security. I overthink, I overanalyze, and that's where I came up with the term experimenting. That feels safer to me. I'm not someone who would ever have just up and quit my job. I definitely side hustled and I straddled and I made sure I made enough before I transitioned over. But I would experiment with things. Any kind of investment I made, hiring coaches, doing programs, hiring people to work for my business, investing in ads, even launching new programs or things like that, even my podcast. I all looked at it like an experiment because it takes away that edge of expectation and upset if it doesn't work, because we have no guarantees. All we're doing is stacking the odds in our favor that something's going to be successful. So our actions and our choices are either stacking the odds in our favor for us to have the stuff and the things and the life we say we want, or actions and choices are stacking things not in our favor to get those things. What I mean by that is, if you're not sure how to create that life you want, grow and scale your business, be able to make tens of thousands of dollars a month doing something you love and making an impact in the world and not being chained to your computer and your phone all the time, and now you've created your own self-imposed prison with your own business. That's not why you were excited to have your own business. You're excited to have your own business so that you're on your own schedule and your business works around your life and not the other way around. And if you're not sure how to do that, stacking the odds in your favor that you're going to get that. You're going to make the cash you want, help the people you want, be seen as the authority in your space, stand out online among the sea of people, be able to create offers that people are eager and excited to buy. Well, what are you doing? Are you just trying stuff and hoping it's going to work? Or are you going, oh, maybe I just need to figure it out, and you're doing a little thing here, a little thing there? Are you toe dipping in your business and then getting pissed that you don't have all-in boss moves results? Yeah, you don't get to boss level cash without making boss moves. So the experiment. I've spent more money in 2022, the end of starting September 2021 through 2022, than I ever have in my life. My credit card bills are what my annual salary used to be like per month. And I had to look at it like an experiment. I decided to rent a luxury beachfront house for myself. That was wildly expensive. That was over $15,000 a month. That's crazy. And my experiment was, I'm going to make decisions based on what the Tiffany who knows without a doubt that the money will come back to me times 5, times 10. I know this money is coming back. I know it's going to come back to me energetically, meaning fuel my creativity, boost my mood, boost my focus, make me feel alive, make me feel free. So I was making investments that I knew were going to align with me and up-level me energetically, financially, spiritually, and mentally. So what would that Tiffany do? What would the Tiffany do that without a doubt knew I would at very least make all of my money back, at the very least? And then, of course, be very open to all of that money and then some times many multiples. And it's interesting, when you ask yourself that question, your answer is very different. If you knew it was going to pay off for you, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, energetically, what would you do? Would you go and hire a VA? Would you start the business? Would you start the podcast? Would you take a risk and create that video? Would you get that divorce? Would you move to a different country? What would you do? And it is an experiment. There's no guarantees, but there also are. There's guarantees of if you don't do it. So this is my exact experiment. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to rent this luxury oceanfront home in Los Angeles. That's wild. I can't believe I'm spending that on top of all of my other expenses. You know, I have a luxury car. I run obviously a business. I don't cook, and God knows how much money I spend on food takeout, DoorDash. I mean, they should really send me some kind of a plaque or something. And I wasn't about to change my lifestyle. And I was like, no, that Tiffany who knows that money is coming back in a variety of ways, without a doubt, I would absolutely do it. And listen, it's not like I'm sitting here in like hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and I'm making that choice. But there's other choices that I've made when my finances didn't look good. And I'm going to get to that in a second. So I made that choice. Then I made another choice to experiment with working with an ad agency and really going all in on ads and just seeing how that worked out. Because you gotta, not everything, right? It's a risk. So it's like, I'm willing to risk that. I'm willing to risk that and knowing that it's going to come back. I'm willing to do that. I was also got to a point where I was willing to leave my long-term relationship. And basically it is a divorce, even though there was no marriage, but divorce. Scariest thing I've ever done. Willing to risk that, knowing if I knew I was going to be fully supported and even more abundant and okay. Did that. And hired 2 more people to execute more work for me. Crazy amounts of money going out to where I would just start laughing. I've spent so much money because I do a lot of airlines cards. I have a platinum Amex too, but I do American Airlines stuff to get all those miles so I can fly in first class for free, basically. And I spent so much money on my credit cards, and I pay my bills in full every month, that they awarded me, like I'm the one from the top of the frequent flyer. So I'm always platinum, but I'm like platinum pro. And like, I think executive is above that. And it wasn't from flying. I haven't flown anywhere since fucking Turks and Caicos last June. It's from all my spending. I was like, well, there's that. I get that. But the real reward came in that I've made more money than I've ever made. And the reason why I made more money is because I felt more supported than ever, because I hired top quality support and people who work for me and in coaches. I'm living somewhere I always dreamed of. How doesn't that feel so abundant? Walking more, being in nature more. I feel free. I feel alive. I feel at peace, even though 2022 has been one of my hardest years yet. But I still feel all these things. Even though me doing the ad experiment, that didn't pay off. I didn't lose money, but it didn't pay off. But what I got in terms of what I've learned to bring to all of you and to my private clients and my mastermind is worth a ton of money. But I didn't lose any money, right? There's a lot of added benefits. It's not just about money. So when you're looking to go and spend and invest, It's like, how will that make you feel having that support? How will that feel? How will you show up differently having the support, having the accountability, having the direction, living somewhere that lights you up, feeling free, having room to breathe and think, having even an extra hour a day because you decided to pay for a cleaning person, having 2 nights a week where you don't cook dinner and you do take takeout. And you can be like, just because you can do it yourself, that does not mean you should. Really, you shouldn't, because your time is so valuable and your energy is so valuable. Those are two things we can't get back. And what's amazing is when we invest in enhancing our energy, how we feel spiritually, how we feel in terms of support, in terms of our inner growth, that makes us a container that is so highly receptive to abundance in terms of opportunities, in terms of money, in terms of audience growth, in terms of connection, in terms of quality of clients that we attract. Because we're in a better state. We're in a better energetic and emotional state. And listen, I've had more breakdowns, I don't know about you, in 2022 than I've had in many, many years. But I am more in that zero fuck zone than I ever have been because of making this experiment. So then I had another choice to make. They came in, because that was a luxury vacation rental, where it's all furnished and stuff. And they're like, hey, we're at summer months are coming. So either, you need to pay $30,000 a month. I was like, what the hell? $30,000 a month, or bye. In a nice way. And I was like, well, I'm not available for paying $30,000 a month for 1,150 square feet. Thank you. No, thank you. Not available for that. No, that's craziness. When things are egregious, I'm not available. But I wasn't ready to leave the beach. I like the beach house life. I like having 2 houses. And then there's that judgment in my head that goes, God, who do you think you are, Tiffany? It's not like you're Rihanna. You're not a billionaire. And you have 2 houses, and you really feel you have to have an ocean view. Calm your titties, honey. Your whole thing came down, right? I have money mindset stuff I have to constantly work through as well. And I went back to my experiment. Hold on. You just did this experiment over and over again, month after month, starting in September of 2021, that you're making decisions based on what would that version of you do that knew that this was all going to come back to you? At the very least, you were going to be made whole and very open to receive more abundance upon that. What would you do? And I would stay at the beach. I would find another place, and I would find a place that has a view, because that's really important to me to have that. And so I did. But I was scared because I had to sign a year lease now. And it's the same amount of money as the other place. And I was like, wow, now I'm locked into a year. Is this my dream beach house? No, it's not my dream beach house. There's very low inventory here. But it's in an amazing location, an amazing vibe. It's 5 times bigger than the other place. There's a lot of great stuff about it. And I followed that, and I'm trusting that more than enough will come in to pay all of that, all my people, my lifestyle, plus a ton more for me to reinvest in my other passive income streams and in the stock market, etc. But that doesn't mean it's not scary. It's scary, but the byproduct of doing this, what has happened? Now I know I'm here a year, so I can kind of just breathe. I'm not somewhere where I could get kicked out. I'm here a year. So I already know I have a place for a year. So I already have that. It is such an inspiring environment that it makes me show up differently. I walk so much more. I walk to yoga 5 times a week. I'm feeling leaner and healthier and more energized. My anxiety is calmer because I'm having the beautiful ocean breeze. I'm able to share incredible content with all of you guys. I'm in a highly abundant area. I'm in the most affluent area there is in Southern California, period, is where I'm at. Where this is where all the sports players live. I mean, 40, 50, $100 million houses. It's like Manhattan Beach and Malibu are the places. So I'm surrounded by abundance. I'm in that energy of abundance. I'm in a land of where there's tons of people making money online, so it's not weird. You see content creators. I can collaborate with people. And I did something to support myself. And even though I had judgment, I worked through it. And it's already paying off. It's already paying off in so many ways. And the money is all coming back and then some. If we do not take the risk and make those investments into how we want to feel, how we want to experience life, the kind of money we want to have, if we don't make those energetic deposits, financial deposits, mental deposits, physical deposits, if we don't do that, it's not going to come back to us and fall in our lap. Because then basically what we're saying to the universe is, I want all of this, but I'm only willing to just toe dip. Okay, well, you can toe dip. We'll give you toe dip and results. And I know that's what you're probably doing right now in certain areas of your life, maybe all areas, because it feels safer. It's less scary. You get caught up in your head. I know I've been there. And what happens is it slowly robs us of everything we want. Sometimes it happens quickly. You just can't have what you want by toe dip, and you got to make some boss moves. And this experiment I did, I was also excited because I could bring it to you and share with you. These are receipts. These are facts. This works. The catch is, yes, it's scary. It's a risk. It feels unfamiliar. It can feel outlandish. It can feel, who the hell do you think you are? It can feel extra. It can feel bougie. But the results are radically different because I did something radically different. If you want some major shifts in your life, you've got to make major moves for those shifts to occur and give yourself permission to do that thing. If you take nothing else away from this episode, give yourself permission to experiment and ask yourself, what action would I take? What decision would I make if I knew that this was going to absolutely come back to me and support me financially, energetically, mentally, physically, spiritually? What would I do then? That's your damn answer. That's the answer of faith. That's the answer of trust. That's the answer coming from God. That's the answer coming from your higher self. That's the answer coming from the universe. The other stuff is coming from fear, from your lower self, from your inner bully, from your critical parent. And that's only going to get you low level results. The high level results come from your higher self and your higher power. I love you so, so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you so much. And if you want to show your appreciation for this episode, go leave a damn 5-star written review. I know they don't make it obvious on Apple Podcasts. It's not obvious on Spotify either. So the best thing to do is just Google how to do it. There's tons of videos and it's really fast. It's so obvious that you've missed it. It's just that it's written small and you'll be able to see it right away. Even if you write me one sentence, I'll take it. But take that action, show your appreciation for all the heart, soul that is poured into these shows. This is not free to put on a show of this quality, of this caliber, and those reviews go a really long way. I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.